In this video, we are going to work on the multi-container pods. Okay, so let's start the lab. The lab is loading. So first, in the meantime, let's understand what is multi-container. So, okay, let's look at the images. So basically, in Kubernetes, you have pods, and within pods there are containers. Normally, in one pod there is one container, but that is not the only combination. So there is a possibility that one pod can have multiple containers. So these containers are related to each other. So there are different patterns available. So for example, here if you can see, the containers can be multi-containers can be sidecar, adapter, or ambassador. So here we can see in each pod there are two containers. So let's go to the lab. So here you can see there are 9 questions, and here we can run the commands, and then based on those things, we can answer the questions here. Okay. So first is identify number of containers created in the pod, red pod. Okay. So for that I can use kubectl get pods. So here you can see there are 3 pods. So we are referring to red pod, and you can see in the ready section 3 out of 3, which means that out of 3, 3 are running. So the correct answer is 3. Okay. Now let's go to the second question. Identify name of the containers running in the blue pod. Okay, so here we need to check the details of the blue pod. kubectl describe pod, and the name of the pod is blue. So here we can see how many containers are there. So under this container section, you have one container called teal, another container called navy. So there are 2 containers. Okay, so let's see this using this get pods also. Here you can see 2 out of 2. These 2 containers are there. Names of the 2 containers are teal, and navy. So this is the correct answer. Now let's go to the question number 3. Now create a multi-container pod with 2 containers. Use a spec given below. If pods go into crash loopback, then add a command sleep 1000 in the layman container. So basically what we need to do is we need to create a pod that will have 2 containers. This is container 1 and this is the container 2. And the name of pod is yellow. Okay, so let's take the hint here. Okay, basically we need to use the kubectl run command. Okay, so here we are going to use this configuration. So here in this case, you can see there are 2 containers. The first container is lemon and the image is busybox. And here we have added sleep 1000. And the second container is gold and the image is reddish. And the name of this entire pod is yellow. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just copy this and paste it in some YML file. So I will use a VI editor. I'll say pod.yaml and I will just paste this content. So after this, what I will do is I will apply this configuration. So kubectl apply -f, and I need to give the pod.yml. Let's see what happens. So you can see the pod yellow is created. Now this pod will have 2 containers, lemon and gold. So let's use kubectl describe command and describe pod, and the name of the pod is yellow. Okay, so in this describe command, here you can see there is a container named yellow, and the image of that is busybox that you can see. Compare the configuration. And here the sleep 100 is also mentioned. Now the second pod is, sorry, container is gold with image reddish. So this is gold with image Redis. So let's click on check. Okay, we need to check if it is in crash loop app. So what I'll do is kubectl get pods. So here all of them are in running state. Your the yellow is also in running state. Okay, good. Let's go to the next question. That is question number 4. We have deployed an application logging stack in Elastic Stack namespace. Inspect it before proceeding with the next set of questions. Please wait for all the pods in the Elastic Stack namespace to be ready. This can take few minutes. So here you can see the pod, and we have deployed an application logging stack in Elastic Stack namespace. Okay, let's first check the namespace. So let me clear this thing. kubectl get namespace. So in this namespace, there is a, okay, the namespace is elastic-stack. Okay, now we need to check all the pods. kubectl get pods. Okay, what we'll do is here we are able to display the pods in the default namespace. I will just check in the namespace called elastic stack by using -n. Okay, so here in this namespace elastic stack, I can see app, Elasticsearch, and Kibana. That is what you see here. App, Elasticsearch, and Kibana. And you can see all of them are in running state. Okay, let me click on OK. Now we are going to question number 5. Now once the pod is in ready state, the pod is in ready state. Inspect Kibana UI using the link about terminal. So Kibana, see, Elasticsearch is like a log aggregator, and Kibana is the UI wherein you can see the details in the Elastic. So inspect Kibana UI using the link above the terminal. So there is a link Kibana that we can check. There shouldn't be any logs for now. We will configure a sidecar container for the application, send the logs to Elasticsearch. So what we will do is we'll create a sidecar container that is a container within the pod that will be forwarding the logs to Elasticsearch. Note it can take a couple of minutes for Kibana UI to be ready. You can inspect Kibana logs by using this command. Okay. So let me just click on Kibana. Okay. So here we can see Kibana UI is ready. Now what we need to do, we can check the logs in Kibana. So that is there in the namespace Elastic Stack. So let's quickly check what is the logs in this pod. Okay, here we have certain logs. So now no action is required. So I'll click OK. Okay, now let's go to the question 6. Inspect the app pod and identify number of containers in it. And it is deployed in Elastic Stack namespace. Okay, so let me clear this. So I will list all the pods, kubectl get pods in namespace elastic stack. So here you can see 3 pods are running in the namespace elastic stack. Now what we need to do is identify the number of containers in it. So containers in app, you can see 1/1. It is only one container is there. So let me click on this one. Okay. Now the application output logs in the file log app. View the logs and try to identify the user having issues with the login, the application log. So we need to check the logs of this one, and we need to find the issues with the login. So let's first list. So kubectl logs, and the name of the pod is app, and it is in the Elastic Stack namespace. Let's see. Okay, here you can see. So User 7 order failed, user 5 failed login, order failed. So user 7 has a order failed and user 5 has a login failed. Here we are asking about issues with the login. So the login issues are there with the user 5. Okay. Now let's go to the second last question, that is 8, question 8. Edit the app pod in the Elastic Stack namespace to add a sidecar container to send the logs to Elastic. Now, here we have a pod which contains one container. We need to add an additional container called sidecar container that will do the work of forwarding the logs to Elastic. Mount the log volume to sidecar at this path. Only update the pod to include new container. Do not modify anything else. You might need to delete, recreate app pod. Refer to the diagram. State persistent concepts are discussed. Okay. So here, so these are the checks that will happen when I click on check to see if it is working or not. So this is the diagram, and this is the sidecar container that we need to add, which will forward the logs to Elasticsearch. Okay, so here I will take the help of solution. Okay, so here this is the manifest file or the configuration file. Here we have a namespace elastic hyphen stack, which has a pod called app, and there is a container called sidecar, which is using this image simulator web app. Okay, so let's look at the task. So does the pod exist? Sidecar. Okay, the image name is given here. Okay, this is the image name, and this is a you need a volume. So the volume name is this one. Volume is like a storage. Okay. So we are just configuring this in this one. This is the configuration file. So here you can see there is an image name app. Okay, I'm just checking. This is about app spec. Okay, so basically there are two containers. This is the original container called app container, and this is a sidecar container. And the sidecar container is configured with this image and this mount path. Okay, see, this is the original container called app, and this orange one is a sidecar container which is added. Okay, so now let me do one thing. Let me copy this, and I will let me clear this. So I will create a file. I will call it as say sidecar.yaml, and I will just paste the content here and save it. Now I need to apply this. But the problem with this is if I apply it, then I need to restart the container. Restart the pod, or we can use the option called replace. Okay, so let's say kubectl. Let me give it a try. Replace hyphen force because already the pod is running. So let me first show you kubectl get pods hyphen n elastic stack. So here you can see this. There is one container which is already running, and I am changing the configuration. This is a configuration that we just created. That is this configuration. Now we are going to apply it. So to apply for the running container, I can use replace, then hyphen force. I need to force it, and hyphen f, and I need to give the name of the configuration file. Let's see. Now the app is deleted, and then it will be recreated. Okay, let's wait for some time. So after this pod is recreated, now earlier here we have it is 1/1. It should become 2/2 because there will be two containers. One will be the app original container, and the second one is the sidecar container, which is forwarding the logs to Elastic. Okay, it is replaced. Let me rerun the previous command. So, okay, here it is showing 1/2. Pod is initializing. Let's wait. Okay, see now it is running. So it is in progress. Now it is in running state. So we can just check the details of this pod also. So kubectl. So let me use this command, and in place of get, I will use describe. So wherein we can see both the containers. So this containers Kibana. Okay. What are we checking here? Pods. Okay, okay, got it. See here, we don't want all the pods. I want pod app. Okay. Now here you can see the sidecar is a new container and the image name is this one. You can just check it. This is the image name configured. Okay. And here the volume name is this one, where log event simulator. See, where log event simulator. It is read write. Okay. So the other one, the original one is the app. Okay. Now it is in a running state because we have just seen. You can see it is in running state. Okay. Now let me click on check. Let's see what happens. Okay, it is successful. Click on next. Now the last question, inspect the Kibana UI. You should now see the logs appearing in the discover section. So here what we have done is we have created a sidecar container that is found in the logs. So now after this, we should start seeing the logs. So you may have to wait a couple of minutes. Let me see. So I will just click on Kibana. Okay, here we can see these are the fields and we can see the logs started coming. So let me just check index management. Okay, this is the index. So here you can see this is the mapping. So basically what I'm trying to say is that we are able to see the data related to it. So it may take some time for the data to appear, but here you can see these are the fields. Okay. So with this we have come to an end. Let me click on OK. Okay, this is done. So here we are able to complete this lab by taking just minimum help. So we have taken one hint and we have not leveraged AI here. But in case we are stuck with some issue, we can definitely use AI. Okay, thank you.